Before we continue, I just want to show you another way you can add roles and users to your database in a similar way that we added the seed data for our books earlier. So here you can see that the roles data and the users data are empty. I removed all the users and roles. And if I just start this program up here, you can see that I'm logged out and there are no roles in existence. So that's perfect. And what we want to do then is come to the models folder and add a new class. I'm going to call this one user role initializer. I'm going to make it static and create a new method. And call it initialize async. And I'm going to pass to this one my service provider, like that. And first of all, we just want to make a role manager. Get required service, role manager, and identity role. And we do the same thing for a user manager. So user manager, get required service, and we want to make sure we use the default user. Required service. And then I'll just make an array of all the role names. And I'm going to make an admin and a user, like the ones we had earlier. I need an identity result of role result. You can call that one. And now I just want to loop over all the names in my array. So for each role in role names, so I just want to check if these roles exist within the role manager. Let's see, role manager, role exists async role. And if it doesn't exist, then I want to create it. Role. So all I do here is I make an array of names. I loop over that array of names and I check if the role already exists. And if it doesn't exist, I make a new role from that name. And then we want to add an email. Call it admin@site.com, var password. Something like that. And then we just want to check if user manager dot find by email async, and we just pass in the email here. Dot result equals to null. So what we're asking is if the user with the specified email doesn't exist, then we want to go ahead and add a user with that email. So then we can just make a new default user. And here we pass the email as email. We can pass the user name as email as well. And then we also have to fill in the required fields, which we added in a previous video here. So the address, zip code, and city, as well as first and last name. So I'll just do that. All right. So I just pass the email as the email. The username is also the email. And I just provide the required data here. Now I need a new identity result. And we call it result. This will be the user manager dot create async. And we want to use the, here you can see we need a user. So we pass the user. And we also want to have a password. So we can pass the password in here. And I see I accidentally skipped out of the if statement. So I'm just going to jump back in. And I also need to have the result from this one. All right. So if this succeeded, then we want to add user manager, add to role async. We can add the user to the role of admin and just wait for that one. Like that. So now we have that. Save that one. Now we can go to the program. And in here, we already have this one set up. So we can just pass it in here. User role initializer dot initialize async. And we pass in the service. And we also need to wait this one. So we can actually comment this one out because it's already been seeded, just so we don't get confused. And if I run this now, let's check the roles and see that we have the user and the admin role. I can also edit this one. And you will see that I have admin at site.com as the admin role. And I can also log in. So that's just another way of adding roles and users to your database.